All right, welcome. I'm Ryan Holger with TEC, and with me today I have Don Kraszewski. Don is the VP of our operations group. He's been here since he was 6 years old, I think literally. He's been here forever, longer than me, and he knows everything about our company and how it works. And he is the lucky one that's going to show you guys today how our online ordering website works. We've updated it about a year ago, and now we're kind of launching it out to the commercial side of the business as well. Residential has been using it for a little while. So Don's going to walk you guys through how to set up an account, how to find the stuff that you need, how to place orders, wish lists, all that great stuff. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Don.
Thanks so much, Ryan. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I have been with TEC some time. Started in June of '92 and haven't left since then. Started in the warehouse and have been in just about every department in the company, starting in warranty, parts, equipment, and now into operations. So I appreciate everyone taking the time to listen to what we have to offer today. So I think the best way to go through this kind of exercise is a show and tell experience. So I'm just going to take you through the screens and how you're going to work your day-to-day processes with our e-commerce platform. And really, quite frankly, the way I see e-commerce is it's a tool. It's a hammer to hang a picture. It's to answer three very basic questions: is, do we have it? How much is it? And when can I get it? I think anything more is a little bit of fluff, and you'll see really quickly with our new site how simple that is. So, I'm going to say simply just go to tecmungo.com and click on Order Online. You'll see this is our new front page. You can see the simplicity of what's going on with the site. What I wanted to show you is that, first off, the preferred browser for our site is Google Chrome. Not that you can't use the others, but we prefer Chrome, as most of the functionality is, or all the functionality is there with Chrome. What I wanted to show you initially is the fact that the site renders down to any kind of platform that you have. So what I mean by that is if you have a cell phone or a tablet, it will render to those particular devices, and you'll be able to shop and order accordingly. The next piece is, how do you get an account with us? Obviously, you need to log in to get pricing and availability. So I'm going to tell you that the simplest way to do that is to click on Contact Us, fill out your name and information, my account number. My account name is Donnie K. My email address, select a topic, account creation request. Please set up account.
Hey, Don.
Yes.
Probably we should point out, too, that you would already have an account with TEC, like a normal account for over-the-counter and phone ordering and all of that. That's what this account number is. We're linking this online account to your regular account. So you need to have a regular account first.
Yeah, absolutely. And if that information can't be found or vetted out, we'll reach out to you via the email address you provided to make sure that everything's good. So your message has been sent. What will happen afterwards behind the scenes is that you'll receive an email from the e-commerce department that'll say, hey, thanks for signing up. We're very excited. Your account activation is set up. The link is good for 7 days, and we do that for a reason, for your own safety, because if in fact you lose your phone or your laptop, they could potentially log into your account, and a sundry of other bad things would happen. But anyway, there's a short minute-and-a-half video on how to order online, and if you have any questions, e-commerce@tecmungo.com, and then you can contact me directly should you have any comments or questions about how we're handling things. So that's how you get an account. What's the turnaround? Right now we're currently swamped with inbound, so I can really appreciate it. We're looking at 24 to 48 hours to get your account set up and credentials to you. It should not take that long. We're mandating additional staff to help get through the demand. So I just wanted to show that clicking on the TEC and Excelsior logo takes me back home, right, to any. Yes.
While we're still on the account thing, can I read a question here from Bob?
Yeah.
He asks, is only one account allowed per contractor?
No, and you know what? I'm going to get into that.
Okay.
We actually have. That's a great question. Thank you so much. So, you know, we could have multiple users. We have security levels for each one of the individual users. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in to my account. So what we'll do initially is we'll set up an administrator for the account. And then if you want additional users, you can set them up as buyers and things like that. Again, this is a test account, so I've got a number of different accounts logged in. So I'm going to go ahead and log in, and I'll show you some of the administrator steps that you have. So we can go directly to the dashboard. So your dashboard will give you your account information, your user roles, your buyers, you know, order history and things of the sort. So, you know, again, you can have that box. There you go. So this is the user information, your billing and your shipping, your most recent orders. You've got order history here, just like any other, you know, system. You can search your orders based on the order number, your purchase order number, who placed the order, or even by product that you may have purchased, and it'll bring up the invoices. You can get to user administration, Bob, and I think this is what you were asking, is that you can set up additional users, create new user, and set up their roles as either administrator and or a buyer. So I think, you know, we found that a lot of the accounts have additional people, you know, doing purchasing for them. And as long as they have, you know, follow policies, this is a great way to, you know, take care of your own in-house, you know, staff. You're not waiting for us to help you out. So once we set up an administrator, you'll be able to set up as many additional users as you want, as well as delete and maintain them. Okay, so that's pretty much, I wanted to take you through the items up top, the part finder, the quick order, because that's pretty much where you're going to live. The quick order is pretty much exactly what it is. If you know our part numbers, you can simply key those in. Add to cart if you know exactly what they are. You can, let's say, for instance, you have a 3-ton condensing unit, which I'm looking at here. I apologize. The test environment's a little. So this is basically what our product pages will look like. You have a complete description, a pick. One of the things we have is total warehouse availability, and then you can check by branch. What's great about availability is it uses a technology called geofencing. So I'm in Lansing in my office here doing the presentation. It knows that I'm sitting in Lansing, and it'll bring TEC or NEC's closest location to you with availability. So it'll tell you exactly where we have products. So if you're sitting in Elgin, for instance, it'll bring up Elgin as the closest location to you. It's really pretty interesting, kind of earth-shattering as it relates to what we were doing prior to. So this is going to help you in a lot of different ways, and I'm going to show you that in the next 2 steps. I also wanted to tell you that we've got documents listed. We've got warranty cards, you know, for all of that, all this piece of equipment. The warranty card is just simple as, you know, a lot of consumers or customers are looking for this kind of thing. So again, it's at your fingertips. What we do is we bring in related products. You know, so for instance, if I sell the condensing unit, you obviously need more than the condensing unit, right? So I need a 50-foot line set. I need a whip. I need a disconnect. Add that to the cart. Go back to quick order. Maybe I want to add some. I want to go to the cart. I can continue shopping, right? I'm going to go back to quick order, and I'm just going to, for the sake of Maybe I need some, maybe I'm not going to replace the line set. Maybe I need some flush because I'm going to flush it out. Notice how me just typing what I know, what is common sense to a lot of us who are ordering product out in the field, can just add particular items just by, typing what you think you need. I'm sorry, sandcloth. Maybe I need some snips. Again, what you know is how you enter. Really pretty simple stuff. Again, we were intuitive for, like, for instance, if I wanted on the commercial side, Carrier 13 SEER, 5-ton, 460. Notice that I didn't have to type all of what I just said. I just typed in Carrier 13, 5-ton, and 460 volt, which is what I just added to the order. Carrier Comfort Air Conditioner, 5-ton, 13 SEER, 463 phase, right? And again, I want to purchase that. Always continuing to add to the cart. I got 12 in the warehouses. I want to know where I've got it. For a delivery, it won't matter, but for a pickup, it might. Specifications, I've got everything you might want to need to know. But what's interesting about specifications, I found that in taking orders over the last 25 years, the specs were just, primarily for line set size and pad size. And what's interesting about that is we no longer need to dig into that because we have all the options that are related to, that particular product. What you see here is an equipment parts list. We have taken the Epic API, and what I mean is that all the bill of material for pieces has been uploaded into our system so that you can book an order for parts as it relates to maybe you need the condenser fan motor or the fan prop for that unit. And I'm going to show you a little bit simpler because you're not going to, you wouldn't go into the product to actually order parts. So we built a different tool for that.
Hey, Don.
Yes.
Liz asked a question. What about a concrete pad?
We don't offer the concrete pads. We only have, well, you know what? That's a great question. Let's take a look. So if I just type in pad here, you'll see primarily what we have. I could type in concrete, and I just don't have any concrete pads. Our pads are Duragrid. They're ultralight plastic pads. We moved away from concrete a number of years ago just because of the fact that, well, first off, they were heavy, and most of them wound up cracking over the years. So that's primarily probably a little more detail than you needed. But
no, that's great. But if it was something we had sold through other channels, then it would also be on this website. It just happens to be that we don't sell it at all in any mechanism.
That's correct. That's exactly right, Ryan.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. Thanks for the question. So again, I'm going to finish this simple order here. I'm going to remove just a couple of things here so I can get through this. So we've got a condensing unit, disconnect, whip, line set. We're going to proceed to checkout. Again, if you want to pick it up, that's great. Maybe I don't want it in Melrose Park. I want to pick it up in Lansing. And what's great about this is that it's checking availability throughout every one of our warehouses. So if, in fact, I wanted to show you something that wouldn't have the condensing unit or restricted, right? We don't. The condensing unit can't be picked up in LSIP, can be picked up in our 5 hubs. So the system will tell you what you can and cannot do. It'll just be removed from the cart from the next step. Or if it's out of stock, we'll fulfill it through our logistics team. So again, we're going to pick this up in Melrose Park. The PO number is, you can see that I've done some of this. Please do not ship order. Typing is not one of my fortes, I apologize. Continue. The checkout, it validates all the pricing. Again, everything's clear and concise here. You can go back to billing and shipping. Maybe you forgot something, but it's something as simple as submitting an order. Our order number is here for pickup. And I should have, let me check my email here. There's an email acknowledgement sent to the user on the account to make sure that everything's good. And it's just basically a screenshot of what you're seeing here. And you can forward that along to any of your users. I think one of the main benefits of what we're doing with the site is something called Part Finder. So it eliminates the need to wait on the phone for the part staff, when in fact you have what appears to be a very simple question. So let's say, for instance, that I need a heat exchanger for a 5-ton rooftop. An older unit. I purposely picked the older unit just to show you that all walks have been uploaded. So if it's in Epic, it's here for those of you that use Epic. But it'll give you basically the bill of materials on all of these products. And you can order and pick up based on anything that you select here. So again, we select the proper model number that we have. Maybe I'm looking for the heat exchanger. Notice that, just by me typing what I think I need, it goes automatically to gas heat. But I just wanted to show you that that worked. You go into gas heat. Here's the heat exchanger. It supersedes what comes with the regulator installed. I want to add it to the cart. Gives it your price, how much is left, 122 left in the warehouse. You can check availability. Maybe you have a job out in Morton Grove, and I want to pick it up there, so I make note that it's available in Morton Grove. But I'm going to add that to the cart. Maybe I need an inducer motor. Add to the cart. The inducer motor's there. I need the capacitor or cooling fan. Again, I want to continue to shop. I'm installing a heat exchanger. I know that typically with a heat exchanger, we need, there's a couple of sheet metal parts that are pretty consistent. Again, I apologize for the pics. It's a test environment, but there's some support and flame retainers that I want to add, because we know that when we pull a heat exchanger out, that these sheet metal pieces typically come out with it. So I've added those to the cart. Gosh, Don, what if I needed some of that red RTV, that high temp RTV? Notice that I just typed in red RTV. The interesting part is all of our part numbers and all of our search engine optimizations work on anything in the description, as well as a part number and or the manufacturer's number. So if, for instance, you like using the high temp red, and you know that their part number is 25666, you can bring that up, just by entering in their part number.
Hey, Don?
Yes, sir.
We have a bunch of questions. If you don't mind, I'll read a few of them to you here.
Go ahead, buddy. That's what we're here for.
All right. So Mel asks, if I don't see a message that says add to cart, does this mean it's not available at all?
I don't know that either that or it's something special order from us. Everything should have an add to cart. If it's special order, it may not appear. No, you can send me an email or give me a buzz after the webinar. I'd be more than happy to walk you through that. But that's a great question.
All right, next question. Can you add sales tax as you used to be able to do with the old storefront?
Can you add sales tax? That will be done. Okay, that's also a great question. So I wanted to show the confirmation that comes over the email. So this was that first order I booked. We were waiting for our email services to kick in, but this is what the acknowledgement will look like. So the sales tax will come in when the order becomes available in your order history. So the sales tax is not added additionally because we don't know exactly if it's a pickup or a delivery, but tax will be calculated at the time it's set back from the system. Hopefully that answers the question.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that's because tax, for the exact same part list, tax is not the same for everybody. It depends on where you're located, I'm assuming.
That's correct.
So that's why it's probably not on there. And
that's exactly right.
Richard asks, can a piece be transferred?
Yes. So here's what happens behind the scenes. When you get this acknowledgement from us, a duplicate acknowledgement is sent to our sales order team run by Tina Dudek. Tina's been with us, or with me specifically, for a lot of years, and she's running the team that will handle the logistics behind the scene. So the great thing about it is, if it says available to order, all you need to do is submit your order, and then someone from the order fulfillment team will call you and contact you and let you know what's going on. So yes, items can be transferred. There are some limitations, but the order group will be able to walk you through that. Those of us who have been doing business with us for a while know that we're extremely accommodating when it comes to that kind of stuff. Keep in mind that we do have, if it's not available, we have immediate delivery options with our fast ship or quick ship service that'll get it to you in 2 to 4 hours. So I mean, there's some great opportunities. UPS as well. UPS is within, the Chicagoland area is typically guaranteed the next day delivery. So they're also a great provider as it relates to delivering our product. What else you got, Ryan?
All right. So next question is, can a print button be added? Because when you print it, it prints on 5 pages. I'm assuming they're trying to print the website and not the confirmation, is probably what I'm guessing. But
what are we trying to print? The confirmation?
This question was asked before you showed the confirmation, so I'm assuming he's on the actual website, maybe like his cart or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know of a way to actually print the cart. I'm going to take you through some wish list stuff that might be able to make it a little simpler.
Okay, and Don, actually a bunch of people just replied back that he's talking about the confirmation. Whenever you print a confirmation, it prints on multiple pages.
Okay, I will get that taken care of. Thank you so much for bringing it to my attention. It's probably just a sizing issue. We want it to appear on 1 page. Got it.
All right, one more, and then I'll let you get back to it. Back on the heat exchanger thing, a couple people asked, do you need to know the other accessories that are required when you change the heat exchanger, or will the system prompt you for those things? So if there's other parts that need to go with the part you bought, will it tell you that?
Yeah, so that's where the related product comes in. We'll come into the heat exchanger again. If in fact there's no actual prompt other than to say that there's related products, there's not a pop-up in your face, hey, look, did you forget to order these? Or typically when people buy a heat exchanger, they buy these things. We're not there yet. We're in the process of going through that. But we have these things identified as we continue to build out our databases. Again, I've taken another note. That's a great observation. Thank you.
All right, I think we're good for now, sir.
Okay, great. Thanks. So again, so the quick order, we can upload orders from Excel spreadsheets. So if in fact you have a larger order, or you have avenue to keep details throughout your day as to, you know, what you want to order, or if you have stock, or if you have lists. There are spreadsheets that we can upload with, and this is very, very simple, with either our part number, a manufacturer number, and a quantity, and then it's simply an upload of an order. So I had I created an upload. You can do up to 500 lines at a time. Again, I apologize, we're on a test database, so this may take some time. But in the event that you're, you know, running through your back room, or you have lists already that you know, you have for stock items, you can upload that directly to our site and order those products. 3 items were added to the cart. Continue to the cart. And again, I've already added these things. So again, I added some filters that was on the list. Now, what's interesting about all of this, and I've been, you know, getting through this stuff rather quickly, is the fact that you can add these items to a wish list. You can create wish lists based on repeat ordering. So, you know, what's interesting about this is that I can add all these items to a wish list. I can create a new one. We're going to say this is Don's test number 2. Click here to manage your wish lists. And you'll see that I've done some, you know, other testing with wish lists, and you can see the benefit of these frequently purchased, you know, lists. Like, for instance, I want a 40-gallon hot water heater. So, you know, we've had some customers say, look, every time you order a 40-gallon water heater, I order the dielectric union, I order an expansion tank, and I order a ball valve. So, which, you know, what's neat about this is I can take that, add it to the cart, have been added to the cart, and let me empty the cart. Otherwise, it will continue. This order will be crazy. Weird cart. So let's go back to the wish list. Let's show you again. 40-gallon hot water heater. Add all to the cart. Proceed to checkout. You know, the full intent of this site was to be simple and, you know, using common everyday knowledge for ordering your product. And that's really what we intended to do. And I don't know, other than getting you signed on, there's really not too much more I can show you with all of this. I mean, the whole intent of this was to be a tool for you to maximize your time and your efficiency. So I can open it up to questions if people have some.
Yep, there's a few more that come in, Don. All right, okay. So Ed asks, is it possible to see a part breakout picture?
A part breakout picture. So, okay, so we're in the process of working with the factory right now to be able to select parts from a bill of material and line art. So that's a great question, because, you know, not everybody understands Epic verbiage. So what we're trying to do is get pictures involved. So like if you go to an appliance parts store, right? So you can go online and click on a number which will order the part. That's coming into third quarter. We're in beta testing right now with the factory as it comes to that, but that's a great question. Thanks.
And for those that don't know, Epic is a software program we've had for decades that supports the Carrier and Bryant stuff, where we can look up part numbers based on model number or part number, and you can get those explosion views and all that kind of stuff. It's just right now separate from our ordering site. Where's the next one? All right, so Liz asks, can I upload a quote number?
Oh, that's a great question. So is it a quote that you received from the store or the branch? I'm going to tell you the answer to that question is yes. We refresh our system every few moments. So if in fact you received a quote from a, let's see here, order history. and I believe we have quotes, right? And this is just an example. So if the store or branch gave you a quote number, you can reorder, or you can book the order based on the quote number they gave you. So you no longer need to call back in to order from a quote. That's a great question. That actually comes up quite a bit.
So the question is, do we stock compressors, and can we order compressors through this site as well?
Yeah, so you know, again, most of the compressors that we'll stock are OEM. So, you know, for instance, you would, you know, we've got Carlisle compressors, we've got hermetic compressors from Tecumseh to Copeland, and again, the majority of those numbers, if you know the exact nomenclature, you type in what you have, and you know, it'll be basically, let's see, BC. Again, this is the semi-hermetics. All right, what you'll see here is that this is available to order. Let me see if I've got a different one here. You know, so again, semi-hermetics, we've got compressor core credits, you know, for a lot of these things. So it'll vary by model. So at the very least, we're working on getting those core values here and displayed. So, but again, yeah, any compressor that we have, we've got significant charts, performance data, related products for these particular compressors, whether it be a crankcase heater or a, you know, a monitor. Extended warranties, some of the male flare fittings. So yeah, there is, you know, obviously compressors are, you know, a great place. So we're a one-stop shop as it relates to Carlisle and Total Line compressors. For those of us that already know, we do offer value for core exchanges, and that'll vary by compressor. So you can always contact, but we can check our availability just like you can anything else here.
Before we leave the compressor topic and go to the other questions, I did want to mention that we do have a program going on right now specifically related to this webinar and compressors. So anybody who's on this webinar, and I have the list of everybody who attended, obviously, and all your company names and emails and all that good stuff. We have a program going on where you can get gift cards every time you use this website to order compressors on here. So the first semi-hermetic compressor, you get a $250 gift card for that. And then after the very first one, you get a range of dollar amounts depending on how expensive the compressor is. So if it's over $3,500, if it's a big one, you get another $150 gift card. And if it's a less expensive one, between $2,000 and $3,500, you get a $100 gift card. And there's no limit. It just keeps adding up. And then, you know, however many you do this summer is how many gift cards you'll end up getting. It does not include warranty compressors, though. This is just for compressors you would be buying post-warranty. Because obviously a warranty one is just being swapped out and no one's really buying anything.
Go ahead, Ryan. We can go to the other questions.
All right. Bob asks, can you deliver to your shop?
Of course. So let's go ahead and let's book an order here. Proceed to checkout. Great question, Bob. Thank you so much. You know, we have a couple of different options here. Pickup, you can ship it, and you can have will call. So basically, the differences between them, obviously, pickup is maybe you intend to come get it in the next couple of days, keeping in mind that, we're only going to hold e-commerce orders for 2 weeks before they're canceled. Will call, which means, the order team, the fulfillment team, will drop the order in the warehouse, and the order will be pre-picked for you. So all you need to do then is just come to the counter with your order number, and your order will be waiting for you. Will call has proven itself to be, very positive for a lot of our customers, and we find that we're using it quite a bit. And Bob, to answer your question, shipping, yes, you can ship to your location, and you can ship to other locations as well. You can, type a different address if you need to.
I'll add that this month we're especially interested in shipping you guys orders to minimize that person-to-person contact for both your benefit and ours. So we'd really rather ship you guys stuff if we can, whenever it's feasible to do so. And if you're getting stuff from multiple warehouses, then the shipping is also nice because you don't have to drive to 3 places to pick it up. It just ships from our 3 places and it ends up at your building. Ron asks, can I create my own quote number so when a quote is approved by my customer, I can turn it into an order?
Not at this time.
You could use the wish list that way, could you not?
I'm sorry, Brian?
Could you use the wish list to kind of accomplish that?
Yeah, you could attempt to, but I think in order to request a quote, we're looking at that at the beginning of third quarter of this year. Okay. We don't have the option to request for a quote just yet. We understand that it might be a need. Again, this was, initially like, let's just, give our customers more tools in the toolbox. But I've written it down. Thank you so much, Rod. That's a great question.
Liz has a comment, not really a question. She likes that you have the related products on there when you pull something up. That helps out with ordering so you don't forget stuff. Brant asks if you can show the initial setting up of an account again if you're an existing TEC customer and you want to set up an online ordering account.
Okay, no problem. That's a great question. Again, you're going to click on Contact Us here at the top. I'm going to type your account number with us. If you have it, great. If you don't, that's fine. We can get it. But you have to have an account with us. Select topic, account creation request. And then click on send.
How many fake accounts do you have now from demoing this?
Yeah, right. Well, I got to tell you, we've got we're nearing 1,000 users.
That's awesome.
This is getting great traction. I really appreciate anyone using it, as well as I think it, quite honestly, it's customer service 24/7. I don't see like I said, I've been with us and evolved through the times here at TEC. This is really cutting edge stuff for us. Any other questions, Ryan?
Yep, we have a bunch more.
Awesome.
Mel asks, during an online order, will the system allow for will calls at different branches in the event one single store doesn't have everything in stock?
That's a great question. What the system doesn't do is create different orders by branch. We're talking about that. It's funny that you asked on my call with the programmers last week. We were talking about those things that, maybe we'd drive around and pick up products, and maybe the system should generate those additional orders. At this time, we're just at the initial talking with the programmers on doing that, but as of right now, it's one order per branch. It will not split them up against numerous branches.
But if you're shipping it out, then it would be fine to have it on.
Yeah, if you're shipping it out, it's fine. It's the pickup that becomes difficult for the user. The ship out, the fulfillment and order entry team will take care of it. All
right. Next question from John. We mentioned that pickup orders stay in our system for 2 weeks and then they're canceled if not picked up, how long will a will call order stay in the system?
2 weeks. But I'm going to tell you that we would, there's a notation there. The danger with will call is that our front dock would be quickly inundated with orders for a will call. So we ask that, when in fact you do book a will call order, you intend to come within 24 hours to pick up the order, just because the physical space in the houses and stores would be difficult to manage if in fact we're all booking will call orders. Will call is intended for orders booked and picked up in the same day or the following day. That's a great question.
We have a follow-up question from both Mel and Ron asking the same thing on that. When you place a will call order, how long before the order is ready to be picked up?
Great question. Of course, it'll depend on how many products you have on the order, but I'm going to tell you that we have a team of a dozen plus in our fulfillment center that are dropping orders on our warehouses, and our warehouses have been given instruction to pick those orders as soon as they hit the printer. So I can tell you that coming from my direction, that the expectation is those orders take priority. Unless, of course, they have a customer standing right in front of them. So it'll depend on the size, but it's fairly immediate. It'd be safe to say an hour to an hour and a half. In fact, that's probably a little too conservative, based on the size of the order. If it's a condensing unit, pad, line set, whip, and disconnect, you're probably looking at about 10-15 minutes, quite honestly.
What if it's 800 pieces of sheet metal? Same?
Okay.
15 minutes?
Well, then I will deliver that to you.
Ron asks, what is the standard shipping cost and how is it calculated?
Well, for residential product, anything above $250 is free freight. And the benefit to booking online is that there's no logistics fee. So orders booked online, there's no logistics fees, charged or assessed on the individual orders. So I think, for the most part, our delivery fees are just about free of charge to you.
Brant has an excellent comment. If you don't know what your account number is, you can actually just look at any of the previous quotes or invoices that you got from us in the past, and it'll be right there in the corner.
That's a great comment, Brent. Thank you so much.
Mike asks if you could show us some stuff on the commercial tab. We looked at the residential already. If you could do some kind of example order on the commercial.
The commercial stuff is still in the build out as we continue to look at unit heaters and module line equipment. Right, we're still getting. You can take a look at anything as it relates to, if you need a module line piece of equipment, or if you need a packaged rooftop, roof curb adapters, economizers. All of this stuff is, here and ready to go for you. So the same thing presents itself that it did residentially. Sorry about the test system, folks. But again, a lot of what we have, on these particular units is, again, the same kind of thing.
And if you pick one of those, will it ask you about other stuff? Like, do you need a thermostat, that kind of thing too?
Yeah,
related products?
I'm getting there. Yeah, the system's a little clunky. These are the TEC units. So, like for instance, on an this is just a 10-ton rooftop. We're working through the descriptions, all the accessory data. There's a whole bunch of it for commercial but related products. We've got curbs, adjustable pitch curbs, economizers, manual outdoor air dampers, substitute products. Don't want the 460 volt versus 208 230. Yeah, it's all here. The specifications, again, we're working on getting cut sheets, product data. A lot of that is already available through HVAC partners, but what we're trying to do is get a one-stop shop set up for the commercial side as well. Okay, any other questions?
Yep, we have a few more, Don. Bob asks, is there one administrator for the company to set up multiple users, or can anyone in the company set up their own user access?
So typically, what we've seen the residential side do is there's one or two administrators, and the rest are buyers. My advice is for the larger or mid-sized commercial contractors to set up one admin who set up a number of buyers. Right? You don't necessarily have to go through that setup yourself. Please don't hesitate to click on the contact us, or send me an email with a list of users that you want set up, and we can have the team here orchestrate that and send out those welcome to the team emails to the users.
So Ron's question is, if I order a heat exchanger and supplies and have it shipped to my shop, it can be at no cost? I'm assuming he means the freight, not the actual stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. The anything over $250 is free freight. That's for orders booked online. Let me be very clear. If you book your order online, it's free freight. There's no logistics fees, right? You save those dollars.
Yep. Iris has more of a comment than a question. When using the part finder, she has found that if she puts in an older model of furnace or AC, it'll list part numbers that are no longer in circulation instead of the newer superseded part number.
Yeah. Well, we're in the process of looking into a fix for that. The benefit it is, at least it's giving you an old number that you can reach out to us, and we'll give the super session history. We're in the process of building that out. Unfortunately, carrier or vendors, change part numbers, rather frequently, as you well know, when dealing with us through the years. So we're working on building out that database. It continues to grow on a weekly basis. We have a team specifically for replacement OEM parts to help us get through that. Iris, it's a great comment. I'm hearing that quite a bit from the users. Thank you.
Richard asks, is nationwide stock available through the site for location purposes and expedited shipping?
Nationwide, is that like a kind of product?
I'm assuming he's asking, is this just for a certain geography, which I already know the answer to, or can you buy this, can you be anywhere in the country and use the site to buy stuff?
No, you cannot be anywhere in the country and buy stuff. It's just for the region.
Yeah, and so everybody else knows that might be out of state that happened to stumble upon this webinar. We do business in the Midwest, Chicago, Indiana, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Kansas City, those kind of areas. And the products that we offer in those areas is slightly different, depending on what we have charters with manufacturers for. So that's why we have this limited to only being able to be used by customers of ours that are already existing and in our system that would normally have bought from us over the phone. We don't have the ability to take just like random orders from the public because we have limitations on geography on where we're allowed to sell certain things.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to, unless you have a login. Ryan, thanks for clarifying. Unless you have a login, you're not going to be able to get price and availability and complete an order. So, it really kind of takes care of itself. But that's a great question. Thank you.
We have a question from Brant regarding the compressor gift card promo, asking the gift cards, are these TEC gift cards or are these like Visa gift cards for other random stuff?
I'm on the supposition that these are going to be like Visa gift cards.
Do we need to unmute Mike and ask him? Let me see if I can figure out that. See if Mike's there. Mike, are you there?
Yes, these are meant to be gift cards.
I'm sorry, I was talking while you were answering. I'll be quiet. Say it again.
These are meant to be gift cards, correct? Like Visa gift cards, similar.
Okay, so they're not TEC gift cards. They're personal gift cards that you could use to buy something else for your company or take your spouse out for dinner, or we don't declare what. It's not related to TEC, like a Visa type gift card.
Not related to TEC, correct.
Got it. Thank you. Don, a different Mike asks, how do you handle tax exempt orders?
Well, tax exempt orders, what I would do is I would go to the order, and there's a couple of different things. If your account is set up as tax exempt, it's really a non-issue. But what I would do is I would proceed to checkout and type a note with the number.
Okay, so there's two ways to be tax exempt, obviously. Your company, the contracting company buying, could be a tax exempt company, in which case we already have you set up that way and it's going to be fine. Or you could be working on a specific unique project for a customer that's going to be tax exempt, in which case that would be done on an order by order basis. Correct?
That's exactly right, Ryan.
Okay.
That's another good question. So just simply a note to the order telling us that it's tax exempt. What we'll probably wind up doing is following up with you. I know we will. Ernie Pudliner's our credit manager, needs copies of the certificates. So we'll follow up with you and have you email that or fax it into us so we have it as a matter of record. Great question. Thank you.
Iris asks, can you show again how to convert a quote to an order? I don't remember showing that, but maybe you did. I don't know.
Oh, that's okay. That's a great question, Iris. Iris is full of good questions today.
She's always got good questions.
I know.
I've been spending my whole time reading the questions from everybody and not paying attention to you, so now I got to watch the recording later on today.
Yeah.
How to use this.
So basically what you're going to do is whatever PO or whatever option you gave the person who gave you the quote, but I'm just going to take an order or a quote here that was used, and it's simply just clicking on the order. So let me do this again, order history. Right, so if a quote was given to you yesterday, let's just assume it's this particular quote number. You can either print it, click on it, and just click on reorder, and you're off and running.
And just to be clear, these quotes in the order history, these are things I've ordered in the past, or or can it be something where I've called into the store, they help put an order for me together. I didn't buy it yet, but it would still show up here?
Yeah, I'm going to say yes to all of that, Ryan. Absolutely.
Okay. So that does kind of help with one of the questions we had earlier. If somebody wanted to, if maybe they don't know exactly all the widgets that they need to put with something, they might have somebody at the store help them out. They might get that quote, might talk to their end user about it, and then when that customer approves it a week later, they can come on here and find it and actually legitimately just go ahead and order it.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Michael asks, will that geodetection, that geofencing type feature, in any way prevent you from placing orders when you're out of town or anything like that, even though you're going to have them picked up or shipped locally?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. All the geofencing does is point the closest TEC location to you to have it first come up on a list. It in no way will prevent you from booking orders or ship it to your Google latitude and longitude. So I appreciate the question.
Here's another good one from Iris. Are you able to cancel your own order from the website? So say you ordered something, realized you made a mistake or whatever it was, can you cancel it from here?
Unfortunately, not at this time. I've been through this a number of times with the team. I think it's because we get to these orders so quickly. Once you receive an email, we're already, we've got a couple of hands on it from our fulfillment team out to our warehouses. So unfortunately, a phone call will need to be placed at that time, only because of the fact that we don't know where it's at in the process. So another great question. You'll have to call in to cancel an order.
Yep. And I would assume it'd be the same answer if you needed to change or add something. You ordered 10 pieces and then you're like, oh, dang it, I forgot to add a thermostat or whatever. It's too late to add it on there, but if you called us, we could manually add it in. It would still
be. Absolutely. Or just as simple as booking another order. Whichever you're more comfortable with. We'll take care of both.
Okay, I think I've caught up on most of the questions. There was a few other ones that were very specific to niche customers, so we'll take care of those later.
Okay.
Oh, here's another question from Lisa. After you place the order for ship out, will you be able to see the tracking number?
Okay, so we're working on, I want to say 99% of our orders are ordered today, delivered tomorrow. So when it comes to an ETA, we're working on a link with our LTL provider, which is our trucking devices. We recently put tracking devices in our trucks to know where they're at. We're in the process of getting there. And then you'll be able to, the idea is to click on a link that you'll be able to track the truck to see where it's at. Again, like I said, a high percentage of our orders are ordered today, delivered tomorrow. I know how that can be somewhat punitive if you have a time delivery, something of the sort. I know Tina's logistics team is right on top of these kinds of things. So in the event that you have a question, feel free to reach out. But yes, the intent is to bring tracking to the site.
Okay, so today the answer is no. Future idea that's coming down the road here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would it be and that was a great explanation on the trucks and the equipment shipments. Would smaller like UPS parts and components also be on the docket for similar tracking?
Yeah, Ryan, that's with the programmers, we're doing both at the same time.
Perfect.
Because the tracking feed. So we're working on three things concurrently: the tracking for the LTL shipments on the trucks, the tracking for UPS shipments with the UPS tracking number, as well as the orders that have been booked with a quick ship service. We've got a couple of providers that will give us the details so you can track where that driver is on a quick ship delivery, like 2 to 4 hours. A company called On Time Messenger and Dispatch It are working with us right now.
That's awesome.
So it's something that, quite frankly, in my years of being here, is really pretty underutilized. That 2 to 4 hour delivery, which, by the way, unfortunately, is not free, but you think of the amount of time and energy you spend trying to coordinate deliveries and accepting product. The 2 to 4 hour thing is really underutilized, and you think about what it costs you to drive around and pick up product, or just to sit around and wait, when you can just have us take care of it for you.
Yeah, especially if you have your expensive technician driving around to get stuff. I mean, if you got some intern kid over the summer working out of the shop driving, okay, that's one thing. But when you're sending your expensive 20-year veteran technician to go pick stuff up, you can't drive anywhere in Chicago for less than a half an hour. So
so our minimum fee on the quick ship is $35, and will go up based on pieces and weight and and a sundry of other things. But again, that's where our operation will help you get through that.
All right, I think we have covered all of these questions. We still have 30 seconds left before we hit our hour, Don. So anything else you want to enlighten us with your next 28 seconds?
Well, if I had a webcam, I might be able to.
Oh, I've been watching your webcam the whole time. I hacked into that earlier.
Right.
Not related to this webinar, just saying.
Again, I just wanted to, say thank you to everybody. You'll find that this tool is extremely helpful for daily life. You're not waiting in lines. You're not waiting on the phone, particularly if you know what it is you're looking for. Will call is a very popular selection. Again, I'm going to, suggest to you that our quick ship services are, ready and waiting, as we have the Econoline 150s and services that are available to deliver product to you. as needed. So, you know, again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us or even to reach out to me personally. My email is, you know, blasted all over those messages that you get from your order confirmation. So please don't hesitate to ask. I really appreciate your input, you know, as we continue to grow our online offering.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate it.